Welcome back into Talking Fitchburg. Joining me today from the Fitchburg Police Department is your Chief of Police, Chad Brecklin. Chad, welcome back to the show. How you doing, bud?
I'm doing well. How are you doing today, Jeremy?
Good. I don't think I've ever called you bud, so we'll start with that.
That's fine.
We've established that. We've got a couple of topics to get through. I do just want to again congratulate you on your new adventure. We'll spend more time talking about that path down the road, but our chief here will be eventually should be transitioning to city administrator. So, I'm not going to do any of my sad speeches yet until the May or later, whenever we get through this process. So either way, Chad, congratulations on that as we get started here. We'll talk. I'm not even going to let you answer. So there. We're going to start with the drug take back. The big national campaign is coming up here real quick. While we don't necessarily participate in that one day of mass collection, we do have collection here in the city of Fitchburg. So why is the drug take back, I'm going to call it a movement, but why is it so important?
Yeah, absolutely. So Drug Take Back Day is coordinated through the Department of Justice and the federal DEA. It happens typically twice a year. And yes, we have not necessarily participated in the formal event itself, which takes place again, as I mentioned, 2 times a year. We've elected to many years ago install a permanent med drop box within our police department. So that allows members of our community to stop by at whatever time is convenient for them, I should say, during business hours, of course, to have access to that med drop box here at the police department. So it's important to have these options available for a couple of reasons. One, it's not an environmentally sound practice to be flushing meds down the toilet and into the sewer system or a well and septic setup. Obviously, if there aren't other options available, perhaps that's something that you may want to do, but I would encourage people to go to the Safe Communities website, and that will identify all of the drop boxes that are located in the Dane County area. And then the second reason why a med drop program is a great option is it gets unwanted medications out of houses where they have the potential for being abused, potential for an accidental poisoning, and those sorts of things.
Yeah, definitely a good program, and it's something we've talked about in the past. And for business hours, what are the normal police business hours? So if people are interested, they know when they can come in and do that.
Yeah, so we are typically available in business hours from 7:30 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. Monday through Friday, and obviously, we've been closed for the pandemic. And we look to be reopening soon in the coming weeks here. So that will, again, grant access to that med drop box.
Perfect. On another topic, we do have construction back up and running again in Fitchburg. We're pretty used to it by now, but overall, given that our main thoroughfare, if you will, is a one lane in each direction thing, if you're just looking at overall safety and what your officers are out there making sure to keep everybody safe, what would you have for some safety tips?
Yeah, obviously, and we're in year 2 of the Fish Hatchery Road reconstruction from Brendan Avenue north to the city limits, or the Beltline, basically. And yes, it's down to one lane in each direction, and it does require our motorists to be aware of that. Please do not operate in a distracted fashion with devices like cell phones in hand. And in fact, there are state laws now that prohibit, from my recollection, even using a device in your hand. It has to be hands-free if you're in a construction zone, which that would be. And obviously, please reduce your speed. Watch out for other motorists and our construction workers within those work zones. And, just to utilize the Department of Transportation slogan, give those folks a break by all means by slowing down and watching out. That is, for all intents and purposes, their workplace. And, we want to keep everyone safe, motoring public, construction workers, any pedestrians that may be in there, and so forth.
Well, we want to keep people safe, Chad, as we do have the construction going on. If people do observe any bad behavior or stuff like that, definitely do want to report it. Where can people report any crime in general, but especially for keeping people safe in these construction zones?
Sure. If you have driving complaints, particularly that are in process or in progress, you can use our non-emergency number at 270-4300. Obviously, if it's an emergency type situation, please use 911. And then if there's something that's really just more informational, there is an area on the city's website to report traffic concerns as well.
Perfect. All right, final piece here, and an important one. You've been working on your policies and procedures now, and putting out new procedures for people to review. There's a task force, or well, I'm going to call it a task force, but a group of folks as well reviewing this. Where are we on that process?
Yeah, so we are in the process of a full policy and procedure manual review and update. And we started that in probably approximately February or so, early February. We do have an internal work group working on these policies. They're divided into 5 tiers, and we are just wrapping up the first tier of policies. And what's important for the purposes of the show here, Jeremy, is that we are offering an opportunity for community input during this policy review process. So every policy that we update, we are putting a draft out there on our police department website in a specific section. And those policies are added for a period of 3 weeks, which allows the public to review those policies and offer any feedback they may have by clicking on the link that's associated with the website and sharing that feedback that they may have. And then obviously we take a look at all the feedback that we receive and make any changes as appropriate and necessary. And then the policy looks to become implemented soon thereafter.
And Chad, when you were going to look at this, is this something that was planned? Is it something that's come with everything that's going on, or is it just kind of all hit at once here? And we're trying to, again, I love the process here. I think it's working great. But why now?
Yeah, so we've tried to do this internally a few years ago, and had a work group together. And in and amongst all of our regular duties, it was difficult to get this project fully accomplished and implemented. So ultimately, last year we decided to contract with an outside vendor who has extensive experience in public safety policy development and procedure manuals, and they're now facilitating our review and update in providing a lot of guidance and structure to the process. And it also helps facilitate keeping us moving and on time, so to speak. Our goal ultimately is to have this manual updated by the end of the calendar year here. And then we can begin using the outside vendor to provide us with some regular training bulletins related to the policies and procedures to keep our team up to date. And then also the vendor will provide us with updates to the policies when case law changes or statutory practices change, or there are change in best practices. So it's going to be really helpful for our department moving forward, and make sure that our manual is reflective of best practices and any legislative requirements, and keeping our team up to date as well is going to be important.
Yeah, that's a lot of work behind the scenes there, but a lot of good things coming forward for that. One more time for people who do want to find that policy, Chad, and make comments, how can they do that?
Yeah, they simply go to the city's website and click on the police department section. There's been an area within our police department website that's identified for that policy feedback, or policy manual update feedback, I think is what it's called. So by all means, find that link, and then you can link to each of the specific policies, review them, and then again, use the included email address to submit that feedback to us.
Perfect. Well, Chad, I appreciate the time for the update, and we'll look forward to having you back next month. And I hope you bring some more warmer weather with you as well, and we can talk some safety on that front.
Sounds good.
All right, Chad Brecklin, Chief of Police here. Appreciate his time as always. Take a quick break, more to come. You're watching Talking Fitchburg.